allow the two
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind.
Like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ la mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ la mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìí yẹ. Mayegun máa wí. ẹ̀sìn tó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ ṣọ́ra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ ṣọ́ra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Good afternoon to you. Good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. This is Máyégún live. Happy Boxing Day, compliment of the season, Merry Christmas, all join, brethren of the Temple of Truth. Thank you so much for joining me. Please, after reading the caption of this broadcast, remember to read the description of the broadcast as well. Like it, share it, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them all that Máyégún today, Máyégún is live. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. Tonight, we have loads of updates to really talk about. But we are starting with the recent interview from the junta head, the head of Niger Republic government. His name is Tchiani, the head of the military junta that removed the French or France puppets, Bazoum, from power last year. The head of the military junta, that thiefnubu, was going to invade the Niger Republic for, and he later denied, if not because that we have the evidence. The head of Nigerian government, Tchiani, has come out to drop another bombshell. Not like we are totally surprised or shocked, but it is just that we are a little bit, kind of like surprised for the detailed expose from this man, which, as many of us who have been following the developments, the geopolitical ruckus going on in the Sahel, the West African countries that have chased away France from their territory, from Niger to Burkina Faso, to Mali, to Chad, and then, dubiously Senegal, which we have confirmed now that, this guy in Senegal only kind of mentioned chasing chasing France away, but he never really meant it. But that's a story for another time. According to Tchiani, he said that after the efforts of thiefnubu to invade Niger Republic last year, mobilizing the Nigerian soldiers in an operation they called, if you look at it, said, impending operations in Niger Republic, WNGO, in which they intended to go to Niger Republic and remove the man in the middle of the image on your screen after the overthrow of the French puppets, the man that rigged the election, jailed his opposition, and declared himself winner of the most corrupt election in their country history. So those who were protecting his regime, his tyrannical regime, Bazoum's regime, removed him. And that was like a big shock to France, because for decades, France has been milking this West African country like it is just their piggy bank. They have been exploiting their mineral resources with no recourse to developing the region or the country. To make the matter worse, this military junta believed that, with evidence that the increased in terrorism in their region is factually sponsored by France, despite the fact that they had the French base in their country. Terrorists in that region, the the Fulani terrorists, the Sahel terrorists, in that region, continue to wax stronger. So if you can't really protect us, right, what is the point in having you in our country? So they chased France away. As they chased France away, the first point of call was Nigeria, where another CIA asset, the drug baron, thiefnubu, just successfully captured the supposed biggest black nation on earth. Yes, the biggest, or the country with the largest concentration of slaves in the whole world, right? So they partnered with him, and they talk of using Nigeria to invade Niger Republic and reinstate Bazoum was underway, but thwarted by a very, very prominent, investigative journalist, David Undenyi, which prevented what could have been a blown-out war between Niger and Nigeria. But the effort to try to untwist the Nigerian junta in making them fall in line, economically, Nigeria embarked on a lot of economic sabotage of Niger Republic, including security sabotage of Niger Republic. So this Nigerian leader just came out yesterday, and he just dropped the bombshell that, yes, they failed in their first attempt of invading Niger, which the thiefnubu and his gang denied, but evidence proved otherwise. thiefnubu wrote to the Nigerian Senate that they should give him approval to invade Niger Republic. That request was rejected, if all of you can remember that. Now, they didn't stop there. He imposed economic sanction on Niger Republic to trigger what was like supposed to be a protest, a breakdown of law and order in Niger Republic. That too failed. Now, the increase in the terrorism in the border between Nigeria and Niger Republic has now been pointed to the effort of France and thiefnubu. This afternoon, thiefnubu's illegitimate regime came out and they denied ever funding terrorism. According to this Nigerian leader, you see this ISWAP, Boko Haram, as well as this recent one, Lakurawa, they are the handiwork of thiefnubu, which is Nigeria, and France. It is such a very weighty allegation and accusation coming from the head of a state of another country, something that ordinarily, right, would be vehemently, all right, denied, right? Because it's actually a weighty allegation to say thiefnubu and France, they are actually working hand in hand to destabilize Niger Republic using terrorism by allowing the terrorists that Niger has been fighting to camp further camping in Nigeria and the border between Nigeria and Niger. They have lost so many of their own soldiers fighting these terrorists. So when the leader of the Niger Republic dropped this bombshell, that is what has now triggered a lot of reactions from those who are defending Nigeria, because according to some of them, they said Niger is only jealous of thiefnubu because what they rejected, thiefnubu has embraced it, which is they rejected France, and Nigeria under thiefnubu has embraced France. So, which practically means what Niger lost is Nigeria's gain. So that is from those like the Ronukus, the Ronu Nazis, the Ronu bandits, the Yoruba Ponus, the Lagos Sabobakus. They are using this. But what others are now saying is that what exactly do you think Niger Republic lost in France that Nigeria is gaining. France has been milking Niger Republic for decades. Niger is one of the most poorest states in the whole world. It has never benefited them. Niger is also one of the most terrorized countries in the world, courtesy of those who are milking their resources illegally, illegitimately. So, this Nigerian leader said in Hausa that France actually gave thiefnubu a lot of money to allow them to temporarily relocate their soldiers, French forces, to relocate them to northern Nigeria, especially Borno and Sokoto. Something they denied, even though we have the evidence of those we kind of considered as the mercenaries who are now saying they are working with Nigerian army in chasing terrorists. According to this Nigerian leader, he believes that Nigeria will suffer a great deal of terrorism in the coming months and years because of this thiefnubu's move. I hope I still have my friends here who can help me do some interpretation, okay? I have the summary of what he said, and I can easily tell you that in English, but I need to share this clip with you. This is the controversial interview that has now exposed the culpability of thiefnubu and France in nourishing, funding the terrorists in Nigeria and the Niger Republic. However, there's also a part of the story tonight where the Nigerian Air Force bombed 2 communities in Sokoto. According to them, they were bombing the gathering of Lakurawa terrorists. So they killed tens of people. So far, so good. We have no idea of how many people, but the number is in the range of over 80 people bombed and blown into mistress in Nigeria, Sokoto State. So at first, they denied. In fact, thiefnubu's people actually jumped on social media to call the news fake news. A few hours later, some of them with their tail within their legs hid their faces, while those who could come out to kind of like a spin it said, well, the report has now confirmed that it was a mistake. It won't be the first time of mistakenly bombing civilians or even try to blame them. We have seen some of the Ronukus who are now saying that those who were bombed in Sokoto, they were housing or harboring terrorists. And that was why the Nigerian Air Force mistakenly bombed them. This is Nigeria. Please don't be a victim. As much as a lot of us don't even have any choice, do not be a victim of that contraption. When they say, may Nigeria not happen to you, this is what it means. But let's listen to this quickly.
Su sun ka zo tunda sun ga ta sama ne sojan Chadi ke kai ma yan Boko Haram sai sun ka ba su makamai masu sabke jirgi. Faransa ta ba yan Boko Haram. Kwarai ko. Da jirgin Chadi ya zo a halbe shi. Wannan abin tabbas 16 ga wata na Oktoba sun kai wannan. Sun ka kawo musu makamai. Don kaga tsibirin Chadi Faransa sun aji. Rahoton da muka samu ga manyan 'yan ta'addan nan da muka kama sun ka ce muna to akwai wata shawara da ake yi amma shugabannin Najeriya sun san da ita. Shine akwai wani daji da aka ce ma gaba nan wajen Sokoto ga gayinsu yake. Dajin nan ana son a maida shi tsibiri ne na 'yan ta'adda waɗanda aka ce ma Lakurawa. Wannan wasiƙa ta rijejeniya watan Mars, wata na 3, rana 4 ga wannan wata an ka yi ta tsakanin 'yan Faransa da ISWAP, ba Boko Haram ba, ISWAP, tsakankaninsu da ISWAP. Tunda su ne a wilaya suke gayi, su ne da alaƙa da waɗanda a cikin Mali wanda aka ce ma ita Islamic Ogaran Sahara. Don wannan rijejeniya budewa wurin da aka ce ma na Lakurawa cikin dajin gaba can za a budewa wani tsibiri wani gungu da 'yan ta'adda ne za su watsuwa wannan Sokoto ne, Zamfara ne, Kebbi ne duka za su watsuwa. Amma ya ce muna wallahi shugabannin Najeriya suna da labari. To mu sai mun ka ɗauki zancen nashi ƙarya shi kai dan bai son mu ba Najeriya wannan bayanin ne. Tunda muna dibin da mu da Najeriya Allah na tuba ba ta yiwa mu ji abin da zai cuta musu mu ɓoye. Shugabansu na rahoto da bayani ana ce mishi tunda an sauya shi mai sauya ma da an kai mai wani aiki ne an ka bashi. Ana ce mai Ahmed Abubakar Rufa'i. Mun ka kiraye shi mun ka ce mai to kaga abin da Faransa ke da niyyar yi tunda ba mu yi tsammani ba. Ya ce to yana turowa mutane su zo su kwashi isasshen rahoto. Ya turo mutane mu mun ka ɗauki nauyinsu DGDSA ta Niger ta ɗauki nauyinsu yawonsu gidan kaso nan Nyamai ne cikin ƙasa ne babu inda ba a kai su ba sun ka tattauna da 'yan ta'adda tunda ba guda ba biyu ba uku ne mun ka kama abu ne da nasiri ne ba za a gayin shi ba sun ka tattauna da su sun ka gaya musu ga abin da Faransa take son ta kirkira sun ka koma da wannan rahoto sai da baya ne kaico mun ka gane da zamba cikin aminci tunda mun zo mun gane da wanda mun kai kira mun ka gaya ma Ahmed Abubakar Rufa'i yana cikin waɗanda shine turawa ke ce ma puan focal da 'yan ta'adda ke gani shi ke tura su foro har wata ƙasa da aka ce ma Centrafrique in sun komo shi ke karɓar su makamansu ne a kuɗi ne na abinci farfaro ne
duk shi ke bada
shi ke kula da su da bayan mun ka gane sa'annan har an yi ɓanna tunda mun aminci mun ka bi ashe ba haka ba ne kaji ko da mun ka gane wannan mun gaya musu ba mu ga kuma wa za mu gaya ba tunda shi ne ke kula da wannan akwai guda ana ce mai Nuhu Ribado shi ma ya san da zancen shi har yanzu ma yana bisa karaga shi ne a National Security Advisor shi ne mashawarcin shugaban kasa Bola Tinubu akan sha'anin tsaro duk sun san da zancen kuma duk sun kai shiru da zancen nan ne mun ka gane kenan harakan nan kihi tun ga kai ne ya rube ba wuciya ce ta rube kan kihi ne ya rube da mun ka gani wannan mun ka ce to mu ɗauki matakai Lakurawa wannan in an kasu menene abin da za a ba su aikin da za a ba su yi bututun manmu France waɗanga da annan cikin Benin ina zuwa ga Benin don in gaya ma zoben da sun kai muna bututunmu na mai cikin watan Mayu sun ka fara cewa a ɗauko musu rahoto bisa bututunmu na mai duk inda yake shiga cikin bushiya cikin kwayi kamar inda adda itace da yawa cikin gumbi a gaya musu a ɗauko hoto a yi bidiyo a aika musu suna nan Benin bututunmu na mai banda bututunmu na mai al'umma sun yi niyya da ba za a noma ba kaji tsibiri na bui ga na lakchad ga na Sokoto Zamfara
zuwa Kebbi
tsibiri na uku shine Benin arewa Benin cikin W akwai wani gari da aka ce mai Porga Porga ga turanci na bada wasu kordone ake ce musu ga turanci da na bada za su gwada ma inda Porga take Porgan nan in ka yi tahiya arewa maso yamma kilo 5 kana zuwa bisa kai ga inda 'yan ƙasa forces special na Faransa suke zamne yanzu haka zancen ga da nike ma inda ba wanga bayani sun ka jiya ba sun ka ba su ma iya tunda sun yi gini kwarai in ma sun tsere suna barin gini in ka tsaye kana tardo gini ko babu mutane ciki nan sun kai guda sun ka yi shi wani wuri da aka ce ma duk dai cikin Benin da aka ce ma Penjari shi ma wani kwayi ne itace ke da kwai da yawa ita Porga tana iyaka ga Burkina ita waga Penjari tana iyaka ga Togo force special na Faransa nan suke kan su koma nan sai da sun kai zama wani otal Kotonu sun kai wata guda suna cikin su wajen 250. In kun tai kun tambaya yan Benin ko da kake jin ana wani minahici ana ta babu turawa cikin kasan mu. An kai tsibiri na Benin na Park W da Penjari. An kai tsibiri tunda cikin.
Thank you so much, Garba Life, for that help of helping us to interpret what he's saying. I have this viewer who is sounding more like those who have tried to defend Nigeria or defended the thiefnubu by calling him weak or calling him dumb. It is either you are the one who has fallen for the propaganda of Nigeria and therefore giving excuses for them. For those of us who have been following this, even during the days and times of Boko Haram, you know that even under Boko Haram, it got to a stage where Chad, Niger, these two countries had to pull out from the joint operation between Nigeria and them in fighting these terrorists. Nigeria has always been on the what is pretty much like a defensive, where until the terrorist attacks, okay, you won't see Nigeria pushing back or what have you. And in most cases, they will receive order. Soldiers will receive order that they should not fight these terrorists. We have had instances where these terrorists were moving, and rather than the same Air Force to bring out their fighter jets and bomb them or whatever it is, rather than do that, they just hold on and let them move until they will enter and get to their destination. Do you know that this same Lakurawa that they are now calling out, that Nigeria is pretending to be fighting now? Did you know that the same Nigerian army defended Lakurawa, that they are peaceful people, that they are not violent terrorists? And you know that most of these terrorists passing through this Niger border, the only place they've had any confrontation with any government has been from the Nigerian side. So why would you call that conspiracy or call him dumb? They do not have the same weaponry like Nigeria. They do not have the same size of the military like Nigeria. They do not have the same equipment like you have in Nigeria. They look up to Nigeria, in case if you don't know. Under Goodluck Ebere Jonathan, Nigeria was actually even helping them to pay their soldiers when Jonathan was fighting Boko Haram then. So why would you call that conspiracy theory? When you have a system where it has been established that these terrorists wouldn't have been this so strong and powerful without the support of these foreign entities like France. Are we going to pretend that the terrorists getting their weapons from all these foreign countries is not real? Are we going to pretend? Nigerians have had some, including the Burkina Faso, Mali. They've had hundreds, if not thousands, of their soldiers killed by these terrorists. When France was chased out of Niger, there is this Sahel, all these Sahel terrorists. There's this guy who happened to be their spokesperson. But they flew the guy to Paris, to a TV station in Paris, to talk about their rights, the Tuareg terrorists, flown to France. Are we going to call that conspiracy as well? So we have the Ronukus who are saying that the guy is only just jealous of thiefnubu. And I'm like, what is there to be jealous of? The guy said they received, they have the intel. He passed them on to Nigeria. The people that are supposed to know that these guys, they are moving to Kirby, moving to Sokoto, moving to all this northern part of Nigeria. And they are not only just going to destabilize Nigeria, they will destabilize Niger Republic as well. And this is the handiwork of France. How do you fight this terrorist sponsor who have done everything to keep your region, to keep this West African region totally, or more like ungovernable? We've had instances just yesterday, was it 2 days ago? What is that guy's name? Christopher Musa, your chief of defense staff, came out and said some of these NGOs, he didn't mention them, he said some of these NGOs they are doing what's it called, I mean, they are treating terrorists. They are also using their NGO licenses, right, to move their trucks to give food to the terrorists, okay, to give medical supplies to them, including weapons. We have had instances where what do you call it? The unknown choppers will fly into the forest to drop weapons, like to dump weapons for this terrorist. Nigeria was supposed to be the big brother. And these guys have been at it for decades, for years. So if he comes out and say, well, all of you should begin to get ready, because the people we chased out of Niger, France, they have now given them a base in Borno, even though they have not started building it. But yes, they have been given a base in Borno, somewhere for them, so that from there they can coordinate all these terrorist activities within the region. Abache, you have to even doubt that. What exactly is the essence of the France or French forces, French base in this Sahel region? And yet the terrorists continue to come down south, like keep coming down to Nigeria. What is the essence of France there? They've been there for years. And most of the areas that have witnessed this endless insecurity, terrorism, they are areas with abundant mineral resources. That is of interest of France. Listen to this part.
Tinubu, Abasu, Wuri, Borno, mun tura mutane sun je ba Najeriya suna da iko ba, su tura iko aje a yi bincike dajin baga wannan iyaka wannan waje wata hudu na yi babu inda ban sani ba. Mutane sun yi bincike sun tabbatar da Faransa suna cikin wani wuri da wani tsibiri da aka ce ma kurna. Yan Niger akwai waɗanda sun kai 2008 2008 mun yi zama tare can wurin sun sani. Akwai wani da aka ce ma kurna, akwai wani wuri da aka ce ma kangarwa, akwai wani wuri da aka ce ma dogon cuku, akwai wata tsibiri da su turawan da sun ka bata suna Canada sun ka ce mata. Sun kai ɗokakken jihohi wannan na kewaye da baga kasan mungunu, in ka tashi da mungunu daga Maiduguri hanya ce zuwa ka je mungunu, daga mungunu sai ka je har can baga wannan. To bagan nan duk kewaye in ka wuce sai ka je iyaka Chad, duk wajen nan sun ɗoki 'yan ƙasa su 'yan Faransa kuma sane da shugabannin Najeriya sun sa su cikin wannan hali. Babban kamfani sun kai wannan wuri sai sun ka bashi suna Canada. Suna nan ciki. Don ku duk sun sani, babu wanda bai sani. Ghana ban sani ba, amma tabbata bisa kai ga tsarin da sun kai daga tsibirin mission de défense za a kai shi détachement de liaison inter-armée, kuma waɗancan ƙasashen duk da na gaya ma tabbata ne. Amma ban cewa bandan Najeriya da Benin saro ƙasashe sun sani ba su sani, Allahumma alam. Amma shi dai Allah ba a zalumin sarki ba ne. Najeriya da Benin sun sani, waɗancan sun sani ba su sani, Allahumma alam. Amma kaji bayanin da zan iya bada bisa kai ga wannan sabon tsarin da sun ka hito da shi, wanda shi makon su ba Tinubu a basu.
He has allocated a place for them in Borno, which is France. You can understand his own grouse with France because they have been direct victim of France's meddlesomeness in their affair. So you can give that to him and say, okay, but don't ever say, why didn't he stop the terrorist? If you don't know the history, if you don't know the story, the ideal thing for you is to possibly read more. Like I said, Niger Republic used to have a very good relationship with Nigeria in fighting these terrorists. In fact, some people usually believe that Niger Republic was the one sponsoring the terrorists so that they could collect money from Nigeria. Nigeria used to pay them millions of dollars. Because why? Nigeria believed that if Niger is well equipped, they can reduce the influx of these terrorists into Nigeria. And it used to work. And during that time, Niger Republic always are those who were recording their military. They are the one recording most casualties in the hand of these terrorists. Go and read more about it. Go and read about the story. If you go back to 2005, 2006, then 2010, then 2015, you can read about the casualties of the Nigerian soldiers in the hands of some of these terrorists who are now, as you now have them who have their stronghold in Nigeria. Boko Haram, to be precise. So they don't have the same military might like that of Nigeria. Assuming Nigeria genuinely, this is why 2015 shouldn't have happened to Nigeria when it happened, which further legitimized the terrorism in Nigeria. So on several occasions that Niger had they have pulled out, rather than challenge the terrorists whenever they are migrating, they just let them pass. Because as they are passing through the border, Nigeria no get border anyway. So it's just like free entry into Nigeria. So when Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was mauling them, using the South African mercenaries at the time, these northern politicians, northern clerics, they used the media to castigate Jonathan. They said Jonathan was systematically killing them in northern Nigeria, not the terrorists, until they got him out of power. And immediately he got out of power. He became, for like two years, it was like a free direct entry. They regrouped. Yeah, they regrouped. And they became even stronger than you can imagine. Now, we now have Boko Haram. We have ISWAP. We have Lakurawa now. You have the Fulani terrorists and all other kind of terrorists in Nigeria. So what is Niger doing? Niger is not going to fight what Nigeria has a capability of actually ending, destroying totally. So this guy came out and said, well, we've discovered that the reason why terrorism will never end is because the people behind it, they are not just Nigerians, or they are not just Nigerians. There are other foreign interests in all of this. Suma once said that too. Remember, this Ajia.
Kabiru Sokoto was one of the most wanted terrorists, and he was found and arrested in his house. Let us understand and let us not forget, this terrorism, this banditry, this carnage is not just happening by mistake. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. A multi-billion-dollar industry because it takes a lot of money on defense budget. It has a lot to do with the sale of drugs. It has a lot to do with mining and illegal bunkering and illegal and illicit mining. And look at the areas that are generally affected by this. Take the Northeast, for instance. In the Northeast, you have the blue diamond. That is a strategic mineral. You have oil at the Chad Basin that is being explored right now, but illegally. You have Zamfara. If you go to Zamfara, Zamfara has more gold than Ghana. Zamfara's gold is being traded in Dubai and other parts of the country. There is a market called Nigerian gold in Dubai. Go and check. So who is doing this mining? Most times they are the governors, the people in power. They are the ones doing it in connivance. In connivance with foreign mercenaries. Can you remember? Have we forgotten when they said there is a no-fly zone in Zamfara? Why should there be a no-fly zone? There isn't even an airport in Zamfara. But aircrafts land and they take off from Zamfara. And let me tell you something else. In Zamfara, every container that comes from China ends up in Zamfara. You know why? Because in Zamfara, the soil in Zamfara has all the strategic minerals that you can think of. So when the containers come in from China, they land they end in Zamfara, and a bag of Zamfara soil is today sold at 5,000. So they need to displace the people to allow them to continue with their mining. I mean, it's multifaceted. And these are people that
So you can say it is conspiracy theory. Because it is easier said, like just say, oh, it's conspiracy theory, Jerry. And then you will ignore all other facts that are easier for, I mean, they are kind of easier to decipher, right? Why is it that areas with some valuable mineral resources are the areas where the insurgency, terrorism are pretty much higher? Why is that? Why do you have ungoverned areas and then Nigeria has remained kind of like powerless in returning people back to their communities for 10 years now? Nigeria has been unable to return them back to their communities. Activities of these terrorists in those communities continues. When Lakurawa, I mean, they said this Lakurawa that you are now hearing about, they have been in Nigeria now since 2018, 6 years ago, when they were first discovered. Do you know those who defended them? Nigerian Army. Nigerian Army came out and said there's no cause for alarm. They are not violent. Yes, they are religious people, this and that. And do you know that this same Lakurawa is believed to also be funded by France? This Lakurawa has been fighting Nigerian government even before the coup took place last year. The Nigerian government are part of the, I mean, they are actually the arrowhead of those who chased them enter Nigeria. When they entered Nigeria, Nigerian insecurity intelligence community, they declared them as terrorists. They said they were peaceful Islamists. Until their victims, especially in Sokoto, started making videos of how they are raiding them and how they are beheading and killing them. It took them 6 years before they are now kind of, and do you know that up till now, Lakurawa, Boko Haram, Fulani terrorists, they are not designated terrorists in Nigeria. Even though they might tell you that they are fighting them or they blah, blah, blah. Do you know that these 3 terrorist groups, they are not designated terrorists in Nigeria? No. They are treated as criminals. Like on the surface. Yeah, they are like criminals. Because according to them, there are some criminal elements among them. That is why, rather than actually treat them as terrorists in Nigeria, Nigeria military is rehabilitating them. Is that also conspiracy theory? Can you call that conspiracy theory as well? That there is no trial of these terrorists in Nigeria because they are not designated as terrorists in Nigeria. They are not. But he will tell you that they have rehabilitated over 200,000 active fighters of these terror groups as repentant terrorists in Nigeria. over 200,000. And yet, the terrorism has not reduced a single day. Yesterday, when everyone is celebrating Christmas, it was a bloody one for the people of Sokoto, Silawe Local Government Area, or I don't know if I pronounce that right, too, but these two communities, Gidan Bisa, as well as Rutuwa communities in Sokoto State. From nowhere, the Nigerian Air Force, okay, they appeared and they started dropping bombs on them. They said they received a report that the Lakurawa terrorists were grouping in the community. And these were just community of Hausas. Civilians, children, women, children, they bombed them into ashes. And that is not the first time I have seen. It's not the first time of them bombing civilians and killing them, only to claim that it was, an error. It was a mistake. But this particular one, quick, they just jumped on social media. They said, no, nothing like that happened. Nigerian Army went on social media to say the Nigerian Air Force, they have carried out an operation to neutralize terrorists. Guess what? They were civilians, women, children, in their homes, in their communities, bombed. So it was when the dust settled that it now became obvious that they couldn't cover this up. They couldn't. They now came out and said, oh, it was a mistake. Let me show you the whole surrounding. Because those Olori Bruku working for Tinubu, who came out to call it a fake news, majority of them just disappeared after the truth hit everybody within hours. But no single Lakurawa lost his life in that operation. And no one, not a single person, the person that gave the order for the operation, those who carried it out, not a single Air Force official has been arrested so far. It's a mistake. The life of those people don't even worth anything. Of course. Let me show you what this was like after.
Okay, nan ma akwai mutane ciki ke. Kamar nan cikin ɗakin ga. Mutum nawa? Inna lillahi inna ilaihi.
Nan kaga yanzu abinci na ka ci ko?
Ne ga haiki.
Gero na kaga gashi nan.
Akwai wasu can gaba.
Akwai mutane. Tana da zaka dawo gaban to Hausawa na babu wata kabila.
Kace babu wata kabila nan.
Babu wata kabila. Babu bihillaci. Babu bayarbe, babu inyamuri, babu wani abin nan. Kabilar su Hausawa na manoma ne. Talakawa na manoma na gargajiya. Sannan duk tashin hankalin da aka bai shahe su ba. Don ko kadangare bai shigo su inda mugun dana.
Subhanallah.
Wani tare da su.
Nan kenan kamar karin bob din ne tayar da kwano.
Nan iskan bob din nan na. Ya tada wannan abu.
Subhanallah. Sannu habu ya Allah, sannu Allah ya sauƙaƙa, so sannun kuwa mama, sannu Allah ya sauƙaƙa, Allah ya sauƙaƙa, Allah ya isa muku, Allah ya sauƙaƙa, Allah ya saka muku, Allah shi mai da alai, ayi hankuri mama, ayi hankuri, a bar mu Allah, Allah ya sauƙaƙa.
To ka san ba a durura a ta.
Gaskiya.
Dole na sai an ga da kuma. Shi ko wani shi na yawo a kan mutane.
To yanzu abu an samu asarar rayuka da dukiya ciki ko?
An samu rayuka waɗanda suka gusa mutum 9. Dabba dabba an kuma ga suna ina ganin uku ne ko da jakkai da sauran abubuwa
an samu asara
sannan gidaje da abinci shi kan ba mu misali
gaskiya na to Allah ya sauka Allah ya mai suwa da alheri Allah ya sauka subhanallah wannan raƙumi ne ko sannun kuwa yawa sannun kuwa Allah ya mai su da alheri wannan
nan shi abinci bai ɗarguwa kaga wani raƙumi ko inda babu ya fara ko kaga ka hausu ka kaci
Allah ya sauka
nan duk shagunan da ka gani abinci
gaskiya nan
yawa kaga nan ko kaga nan dabba karamar dabba
Assalamu alaikum sannu malla sannu Allah mai
kaga ramin da ya tashi babban tashi nan babban
oke nan wanga wurin na ya tashi nan kenan nan na fahimci kenan inda fam din ne ya faɗo kenan
kai dan jami'in
ne haɗu kuma duk shi ya kosin ɗin waɗanga wagaban nat.
Na ka duba waɗancan tsarar dabbobi da kwanan can. Don wurin da yake da mutuwa ba ka ga shiga mutuwa ne nan. Nan da hagan.
I mean, the Nigerian Air Force, they are popular for mistakenly bombing, civilians. They have mistakenly bombed their own soldiers too. They gave them intel to go and fight terrorists. On their way there, Air Force came and bombed them. There are videos. Videos are bound on the internet if you want to see how much of this. And nothing ever touches the terrorist per se. Nothing. So in Niger Republic, with this latest, to show this support for their own junta, the people came out today to call on the head of thiefnubu and Nigeria.
Ga Niger su to maza da mata, Allah tsine ma Tinubu, Allah tsine ma Tinubu, Allah tsine ma Tinubu, Allah tsine ma Tinubu. Ga mu nan majalisa mun yi Allah wadai, Allah tsine ma Tinubu. Niger su to maza da mata, Allah tsine ma Tinubu albarka, Allah tsine ma Tinubu.
Make Allah destroy thiefnubu. That's probably what he's saying. But in the northwest again of Nigeria, where Bello Turji Bello Turji reigns supreme, a man that they claimed to have been killed twice, and most of his acolytes, those who are like with him, other terrorists like himself, are said to have either been killed or arrested. The guy came out yesterday to issue another threat to the civilians he has been killing, kidnapping, collecting ransom from. He is a king on his own. Nigeria is so useless. Nigerian army is so useless in fighting or defending Nigeria or protecting Nigerians that they have to wait for some of these terrorists to even clash. You hear that ISWAP is fighting Boko Haram and they killed themselves. Over 200 terrorists dead. Not by Nigeria, but by the terrorists themselves, fighting over territory. What are the territories? The territories where they are stealing the different kind of mineral resources, including crude oil. And what are they getting in return? They are getting weapons and weapons and weapons. Once they steal any mineral resources anywhere, they go about and give it to their foreign sponsor, who will then give them weapons. So Nigeria is so weak, right, that they have to wait for the fight between two terror groups or three and then see if they can decimate themselves. And every now and then, these terrorists are also recruiting. They are recruiting the uneducated, poor Nigerians in northern Nigeria. It is the most lucrative industry in Nigeria right now, terrorism industry. So here, I don't know if Garba Live, Celia, if you can help me do some interpretation here again. I want to believe that Bello Turji is also speaking Hausa here. Latu Aruno, maybe you can help as well, all right? Here is the latest warning from Bello Turji to Nigeria going into 2025.
Yo Laraba. Shekara ta 2024 watan 12 na watan Agusta na da kwana 25. Sunana Muhammadu Bello Turji, al'ummar duniya muna maku fatan alkhairi. Insha Allah muna cikin koshin lafiya. Muna gode ma Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ya samu wannan lokaci. Dama al'ummar duniya ba wani abu bane muke son mu faɗa. Muna son dai ne mu tura sako zuwa ga al'umma da ke jihar Zamfara da Sokoto, saboda wasu magunguna da muke ji suna faruwa da wasu abubuwa ma da muke gani a idonmu a zafirance da ke faruwa. Saboda haka muke tunatar da mutanen da ke karamar hukumar mulkin mu ta Shinkafi cewa insha Allah muna tabbatar musu wannan ibtila'i da suke son su jawo muna, wannan kashe-kashe da suke son su dora muna na tsakaninmu da suwa, muna kira gare su kamin wannan ba sabuwar shekara ta bayyana ta 2025. Muna kira gare su su bamu yan uwanmu da suka sani suna hannunsu. Idan ba haka ba muna tabbatar masu cewa shekara ce wadda za mu buɗe ta da yaƙe-yaƙe tsakanin mu da suwa. Saboda haka muna tabbatar masu ba gudu ba ja da baya, wani wanda za su kashewa su kashe shi ba mu jin tsoro. Amma muna mai tabbatar masu wannan wanda ya sa suna kama mu da yan uwa da sunan cewa za su kama barayi ko su yi mi, to muna tabbatar masu cewa insha Allahu sun bidi a kashe mu yan shinkafi yan uwa, kuma sun bidi a kashe mu yan shinkafi su biya kuɗin garkuwa da mutane da an ka saba yi da su. To muna tabbatar masu wannan abin da suka ganin kamar ya ƙaura gare su zai zama masu sabo fil a cikin leda shi daga wannan sabo shekara da za mu shiga insha Allah. Amma idan suna son su kauce ma wannan matsala tsakaninmu da su, sun san yan uwanmu da suka sa aka sanadiyya aka kakkama shinkafi aka je da su. Idan ba haka ba gudu ba ja da baya. Mun je shugaban sojoji kai kana hituwa ka ce Edo Buba kake ka samu daki ka shige da Allah. Yan Najeriya sun kaba yan Najeriya kunya wallahi. Ka ce wai ka zo fagen daga kun fafata kun kama mutane. A ina kai fagen dagan? A ina ne kuka yi ba ta kashin mai zahi? A Zamfara muke fa, a Sokoto muke, kuma mu kake gaya mawa ga maganar. Ka kama uwayenmu ka ce wai ka kama wai mataimakanmu. Uwayenmu za ka kama ka ce ka kama mataimakanmu. Ka dubi dattawan da ka kama duk ba wanda bai kai shekara 75 ba. Amma wai ka dibe ne wai dan shekara 35 wai ka ce wa mutane ka kama mataimakana. Edo Buba ka sa abin da kake faɗa wa mutane. Kai ma in ba ka iya zuwa fagen daga to ka samu ɗaki ka shige ka bawa mutane ƙarya. In ka fito za ka ji kunya ga idon mutane. Don haka ga muna kiran ka bar daina ɓata masu sojojin Najeriya. Ka daina ɓata masu suna. Ka ce wai kun fafata to ka gabatar da makaman. Muna son ka gabatar da makaman da ka ɗauka wurin fafatawa ko kaga mai hankali sai fahimta da ka fafata da ku. Mu ba wata fafata da kai yawon mu asibiti ka zo ka ɗauki wasu kuma kasuwa ka kama su. Babu inda muka fafata da kai. Ƙarya kake ko kai awwa ƙarya kake, kuma in fafatawa kake so da mu ba da uwayenmu ba ai ka san inda muke. Ka zo mu fafata da kai, ka san mu. A saboda haka muke kiran ku al'ummar Shinkafi da kewaye da Isa da Zurmi. Muna mai tabbatar maku insha Allah wannan sabon shekara idan dai ba ku ɗauki mataki ba na waɗannan karnukan da ke sanadin ana kashe ƴan uwanmu don mu je mu kashe ku ba, to insha Allah za ku samu abin da kuke bukata a wurin mu. Insha Allah dama kashe mutane mun iya, mun saba, mun koya. Kuna ganin mu ba ƙauyu, muna ganin ku itacen hawa. Saboda haka duk wani gari ya bijira umarnin mu, kamar wannan kangon za mu mai da wannan gari insha Allah, ko wani gari ne ku kowane gari ne insha Allah sai mun mai sai kango ai mutane ake mulka ba dabbobi ba ya sojoji za su je su sa mutane asibiti su ta kwasa su ce sun kashe yan ta'adda ba sai ga yan ta'adda suke ba su je su ta ƙarya ku kuma yan Najeriya ku zo ku zura masu ido a ba da Allah da Annabi ku faɗa masu gaskiya su daina maku irin wannan alfasha suna sa ana kashe maku abun nan su je su nemi mata suke iya kashewa da ƙananan yara su sa jirgi su jefa masu bam amma wai mai bindiga kai mu riga mun yi gaba sannan kai gwamna Dauda Lawan Dare mun zo kanka ka ce wai kai dan ta'adda ya juta yami sannan ka zo ka bada to ai mu da ma ba yan ta'adda bane sunan mu kuka bata sannan wai zancen ka ce mu juta mu zo mu baka bindigar mu a ba dare kai dare wallahi sunan ka ne wannan Dauda Lawan Dare ya ma kai dare wallahi kai dare kai da ka zo ka samu ka tana shekarar ka biyu ni nan da ka ɗauki yan kwamiti an ka ce ba su iyawa ce kai ƙarya ne sati 2 wata 3 yanzu duk zaman fara in zaka faɗa mai ya tabbata ƙarya kake baka iyawa kuma baka ka hana jiha ta zo ta zauna lafiya saboda haka muke kiran ku.
Thank you very much, Latu. That is him issuing another threat. So 2025, for the people of Zamfara and others, they are going to retaliate the death of their brothers killed by the Nigerian government. Now, people are asking, what exactly is what are they fighting for? I mean, people have asked that many times to say, you know, the Boko Haram says they are fighting for the Islamic Caliphate. They want Nigeria to become an Islamic Republic. Everybody become Islamic Republic. That's what they claim they are fighting for. What is the Fulani terrorist fighting for? Over 600,000 Nigerians were killed by terrorists in 2024 alone. 600,000 people, including security agents. 2.2 million Nigerians were kidnapped in 2024 alone. 2.2 million Nigerians. Over 2.2 trillion naira was collected as ransom by these terrorists in 2024 alone. So what exactly are they fighting for? We know these are politically sponsored acts of terror against Nigeria. But why is it taking them this long to actually figure out those who are sponsoring them? Who are those sponsoring these guys? Unfortunately, Al-Qaeda People's Congress, APC, since they came in, they have legitimized terrorism in Nigeria. They are the first set of people, that started giving amnesty to terrorists. And terrorism never stopped. When the Niger Delta terrorists were doing their own terrorism, which they call, what did they call it at the time? Fighting for their own oil. That's why they will tell you it's not we are not terrorists. We're fighting for our own share of the oil. That's why we're kidnapping people and collecting ransom. The moment they gave them amnesty, that stopped. It stopped. Everybody cut out a deal for themselves in the oil sector and all of that, and yeah, they're fine. These terrorists have been killing Nigerians, kidnapping Nigerians, selling Nigerians off as slaves. They are actually selling human beings as slaves, spoil of war. And Nigeria claimed that they have rehabilitated. Nigerian government claimed they have rehabilitated over 200,000 repentant terrorists in the last 10 years. 200,000 repentant terrorists. But this has not reduced the terrorism. It hasn't. So what exactly are these guys fighting for? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But there's something I do know. The people funding them believes that this is their own tool for political power, to have political leverage. And it is making them a lot of money too. So what is the role of Nigerian government that is budgeting trillions upon trillions for defense in Nigeria, and yet the more money they throw at the terrorism in Nigeria, the bigger and stronger the terrorists have become in Nigeria. Who are their sponsor? What is the job of the NIA, NSA, all these AA and all these guys in charge of intelligence gathering, DSS? What exactly is their job if they cannot figure? I mean, UAE gave us the names of those who are sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria, including some of them who are living outside Nigeria. Nigeria, which has terrorists in government, state governors, ministers, commissioners, and name them. In the army, you have these terrorists everywhere, terrorist sympathizers everywhere. The government couldn't fish them out because the government would actually have to like sack itself if they really want to fight terrorists, because they are the terrorists. In my own book, you can call it conspiracy theory as well. But we have seen those who openly, publicly identified as terrorist sympathizers, held sensitive public positions in Nigeria, and they got away with a lot of it. Treason against your supposed country. So what exactly is the job of the government if they can't fish out the sponsor? Because if you want to tackle a problem, you probably should go straight to the source. Who are those sponsoring them? Who are those benefiting from this? Fish them out, pick them, but maybe they are just too powerful to be touched. And the Nigerian army, oh, where are they? Oh, they are in the eastern part of Nigeria. Those who are traveling home for the Yuletide, for Christmas, New Year, in the eastern part of Nigeria, they had to face the roadblock of the major road to the eastern part of Nigeria. The Nigerian army were there, but they mounted hundreds of roadblocks collecting money from these travelers. Have you seen this?
This is the military checkpoint at OP. You can see what these people are causing here. The road is fully blocked. Can you watch the go slow from here to far? You can't believe it. What is happening here? You can't believe it. See, go slow. This is unbearable. Please, let it's too deep. Make a call to those who are at OP Junction. OP, those army at OP, so that to open this door. They will open this road for motor to pass. This is too much. You can watch what is happening. See the go slow here. Everywhere is blocked. Soldiers were causing it. It is soldiers that are causing it. At OP Junction, at OP towards OP, those soldiers there, they are causing this go slow. Please let them make a call to them. Let them make a call. Let there be a call. Let there be a call for it's too deep. It's too deep to make a call.
Yeah, they are collecting money. They are not there to provide security. Oh. No, security bow. No. Everybody passing this road, you must pay toll to us. 1,000 naira per vehicle if you want to pass. While terrorists are having field day in northern part of Nigeria, even in eastern part of Nigeria. It's not about security, because if it's about security, this family could have been saved on the Izu Road, okay, from being kidnapped.
Yeah, moto nde kidnap onozi so kita ke ha na eme na vulu ha bo ofia. Moto nde kidnap onozi isu. Afọ kwa security ndị so sonsu udo ka nwa na ofu ndị agụlele ka a na-afọ ebe a. Onwe onye isu na onwe onye other security na ebe a. Ya moto nde kidnap kita n'ozi isu. Na analo ha Christmas moto ita anu. Onwe security afụl sonsu udo ka nwa udo ka na ofu onye agụlele. Abịakwa na-akwụfushi ụgwọ. Today bụ 25 akwụsị ike ifta na alụ ọlụ. Ajọs nọ hafu ụzọ. Ya moto ite kidnap ndị na n'ime na. Nwaanyị a na-evolu die ya. Hapịa maka na hafu the woman.
Because if you have that number of roadblocks in eastern part of Nigeria, then it should be difficult for kidnappers to kidnap travelers, families. It should. But the purpose is not to provide security. The moment they collect all the Araba, or any moment that the terrorists are just about to happen, they will disappear. We've had people who have been kidnapped, especially in the eastern part of Nigeria, paid ransom, and they came out and they said they were kidnapped not far from checking points of the military. So what exactly is their purpose in the eastern part of Nigeria? Providing security? No. They are not there to provide any security. They are there to make their life hell. And they do that so, like, unchecked. It is sad, if you ask me, you know. But let's leave that. The last few days, we've had, so it's more or less like an emotional roller coaster from Ibadan to Okija and then to Abuja, where the poorest Nigerians have lost their lives, including children. Because they are hungry. They want whatever these philanthropists have to share, they want them too, with no provision for what is called the health and safety, protection of their lives and their lives. So the lives of an average Nigerian is almost like a worthless to those who are supposed to uphold the sanctity of life, protect them. It's unfortunate, but there is always what is called the scapegoating in this regard. In Ibadan, where 35 children lost their lives 2 days or so to Christmas. In Okija, where 35 people lost their lives also a few days to Christmas. Similarly in Abuja, but that of Ibadan seems, because it was the first, seems to have been the only one that has attracted the government attention, and the organizers have been arrested, remanded in prison, and people have been reacting to that. Okay, that I did say something on that last night when I was doing my, Christmas Day complimentary gist and all that. So the wife or the ex-wife or ex-queen of the honey of Ife, Naomi, as well as the radio host, Oriyomi Hamzat, have been remanded in prison. I actually have the charge, the court charges. I'll display that in a moment. But let me branch out something to say about that. So those of you who haven't seen this, right, let me share this with you on the same matter. And the mother of the ex-queen has also cried out to people to please help her. Her daughter is innocent. She is only trying to help her people. Watch this.
So this is not a Christmas video, although I'm wishing you all a Merry Christmas. But my heart is very heavy right now. I want to quickly just say a few things about the unfortunate incident that happened in Ibadan that led to the death of, I think, like 35 children. And I was very sad when I saw that, in fact, when I first heard that the organizers, that's Prophetess Naomi and Oriyomi Hamzat, have been arrested. I was sad when I heard they were arrested. Now I heard they were charged to court and they've been remanded. I think remanded means that they've been detained until the next adjourned date or something like that. Honestly, I'm really curious to hear the charges. I'm sure it's going to border on negligence or blah, blah, whatever. But, okay, let's just do a quick analysis. Anyway, I want to believe that they have very good lawyers, because this case is nonsense. I'm sorry to say. And this is not me trying to be insensitive to the plight of the children that died. It is very tragic. But if the purpose is to punish those responsible for the deaths, how is it the organizers? Now, okay, let's look at the facts on ground. The event was supposed to start for 10 a.m. Okay, the security personnel was supposed to arrive for 8. The venue was locked. All right, and it wasn't meant to be open till the security personnel arrived by 8 for an event that was supposed to start at 10. Now, from what we have, from the reports we have, people came overnight. People had already started arriving overnight and were throwing their children over the fence into the compound. I saw one very tragic one, that one of the children, that it was as the mother threw the child over the fence, as the child landed, he or she, I don't know, hit his or her head and died instantly. Overnight. So I don't understand. So how is this the fault of the organizers exactly? That you organize an event, it's supposed to start at 10, your security personnel are supposed to arrive for 8, but overnight people had already stormed the venue and were already through, because the place was locked up, and were throwing their children over the fence into the premises. When the organizers heard that this was happening, they had to come and now open the place and now start trying to rescue the children. I mean, because by that time there was already a stampede. Do you understand? How is this the fault of the organizers? So is it a problem to do good in this country right now? Because we're dealing with so much, and a few people try once in a while, from the little that God has blessed them with, to also touch people's lives. Now, this thing can happen to anybody, for real, honestly. Yes, we understand the root cause of this matter is there is hunger in the land. But is it hunger that will make you to endanger the life of your child, throwing your child over the fence? How bad is that hunger? I think we are sick. We are not well as a people. We are not all right. Do you understand? I think we're not all right. And if you look at these people that are guilty of this, these people that were throwing their children, it's not like they don't have food to eat. I mean, I know that things are bad, but if we investigate each and every one of those people, it is not that it is so bad that they do not have anything to eat at all, as in they are totally gone. Do you understand? Because what exactly did they want to give you that you felt the life of your child, I mean, didn't have meaning enough for you to throw the child over the fence? Say Spider-Man over the fence. And now the poor organizers who are trying to be a blessing are now arrested, charged to court. So what exactly is going on? What is going on? Because don't tell me that you are just trying to make an example on it. To what end? To what end exactly? Because we really need to be very, very careful, because we're setting a very, very terrible antecedent here. I mean, very terrible precedents. Pardon my grammar. Do you understand? We need, look, I think people need to speak up about this. Why are those parents? Why have the police not fished out all those parents that threw their children over the fence and also charged them? Because as far as I'm concerned, they are the offenders. An event is supposed to start for 10. What business do you have there being there overnight? These are the people that the police are supposed to arrest and investigate and question, not the organizers. Because the organizers, I mean, it's clear. The facts are...
I don't hear you. So Olokpamako, everybody, last to me. I have a very quick info on the matter that the Niger Republic Edo State, Tchiani, exposed and Nigeria denied. I want you to watch this. The arrival of the of the French forces in Borno and setting up their base in Borno. As much as Nigeria is denying it, here is an AP Associated Press clip. Quickly.
So, like I said, the troops are just fresh out of the Nigerian Army Peacekeeping Center, where they've been given the rudiments, the basics, the tactics, the procedures for peacekeeping operation and peace enforcement. And additionally, all Nigerian troops now go through the various training centers that we have that have been set up to train our troops in counter-terrorism.
Just so you know. That is why when they deny something, that is the moment you must actually believe that thing is true. They wrote a very long epistle. Then they unleash their social media attack dogs to start attacking the personality of that of that Nigerian Edo State. That he is lying, he is jealous, while they are setting up what they call the peace mission, French-Nigeria peace mission in Borno, as we speak, where it is expected that the French forces, they are going to train Nigerian army on how to fight terrorism. They are setting up their base in Borno as we speak. I just thought I should put that in, especially for those of you who want to believe that it is a conspiracy theory or what have you. And also, in addition, Nigeria government under Tinubu, they have now lifted ban on mining in Zamfara. There was a ban on mining in Zamfara in place to curb the illegal mining in Zamfara. Dele Alakori and the gang, they have lifted the ban now. And they are welcoming the French companies, French businesses that are living in jail, leaving their mining field and their mine field and all that to arrive in Nigeria so that they can now, set up their base and do what they have been doing in Niger, in Nigeria, just so you know. But let us continue. The mother of Queen Naomi cried out in this manner. If you care to watch, please.
mi ò rò pé bí tí mo máa bára mi lélẹ̀ ní 2024 December. Jésù mi o! Gbogbo èèyàn tí mo mọ̀ ní Nàìjíríà ni mo ti bẹ̀. Tí n bá débi wá ní látòkè wá ní bí mo bá látòkè wá ní mi ò anybody lókè mi anybody mi lọ́rẹ̀ mi lẹ́yìn mi ò máa lẹ́yìn o.
Because according to the mother, the program was even yet to start when the stampede started, and people have already been marching themselves and all of that. They were still at home. That they rushed down there to help people. There was like a too late, So she has been remanded in prison custody. So Queen Naomi was there to help the poor. Unfortunately, crowd control was not a thing in Nigeria, and still not anything in Nigeria. So to say, it's unfortunate, it's an unfortunate incident, but law is law, if you ask me. These are the charges against them. So count one, that you, Naomi Shile Kwanla Ogunwusi, female, Alhaji Oriyomi Hamzat, male, Asasi Abdullahi Babatunde, male, and others now at large on the 18th day of December 2024 between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. at Islamic High School, Basharun area, Ibadan, in the Ibadan Magisterial District, did conspire with one another to commit felony, to wit, acceleration of death, and thereby committed an offense contrary to Section 324 of the Criminal Code, Cap 38, Volume 2, Law of Oyo State, Nigeria, 2000. So can sue that you, Naomi Ogunwusi, Shile Kwanla, Oriyomi Hamzat, Asasi Abdullahi Babatunde, and others now at large on the same date, time, and place in the aforementioned magisterial did unlawfully accelerated the death of Musiliu Sofiat, female, age 8 years, and 34 others between the age of 5 months to 13 years by inviting them for a children fund fair program, but failed to provide adequate security, medical facility to prevent stampede at the venue, and thereby committed an offense contrary to Section 311 and punishable under Section 319 of the Criminal Code. So count 3, that you, Naomi, Oriyomi Amzat, Asasi Abdullahi, Babatunde, and others at large, on the 18th of December, between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. at Islamic High School, Basharon area, Ibadan, in the Ibadan Magisterial District, did conspire with one another to commit an offense to wit negligence act causing harm, and thereby committed an offense contrary to Section 517 of the Criminal Code of Oyo State 2000. These are the charges. So they are being charged for manslaughter, even though the mother said they are being charged for murder. So I think they will really need a good lawyer to push this. Okay, somewhere in the eastern part of Nigeria, where part of the argument of people is that if 35 children died because of this goodwill gesture of Naomi and others, and the same 35 people died or more died in Okija. So Obi Jackson should have also been arrested, but I don't think the Anambra State government is pursuing that. This particular case now is between the Commissioner of Police of Oyo State versus Naomi and Oriyomi Amzat and others. So in Anambra, where people died as well, we do not have any instituted case. In Abuja, where over 10 people also died at Trinity Church, Abuja, also we haven't seen any instituted case for this. So there's so much that a lot of people feels like it's wrong. But in other areas where people also got the Christmas gifts like this one, there was no stampede. Everybody with his own kettle of fish. In another part of the town, in Enugu, they had this, traditional sport. I think it's called, what's the name again? It's called the Apia Agba Festival. It was meant to be like a wrestling match between masquerades, or maybe just a kind of like a whipping match. So this was captured for those who made it to the east after all the roadblocks, the threats, including those who have been, threatened of other insecurity that's, real and imaginary. So people kind of gathered in Enugu to celebrate one of their famous tradition, and it is called, again, Apia Agba. Have you seen this before?
Yes, bitch. Yes, bitch. Where's ya? Confirm. Where's ya? Where's ya?
You know, for those of us that grew up in small towns or villages, we used to have these masquerade festivals, different festivals where, especially the masquerade festival, where you will see two masquerade whipping themselves. You know, to Bulu, we used to have that. I bet they still do. You know, it's like, you know, you have to be like, hey, rah. Yeah. About Keno, about Batoa, all right, they go beat people. Then the following day, you will see all the marks. You know, people will take all of them in. It's sort of a festival, though. But it's different in Edo State. This time around, these were just like, there were thugs, APC, Egbekegbe thugs, carrying out the directive of their governor, Okwe Obolo. What's that name we gave to him the other time? This Bolo governor of Edo. So this, when he became governor, they elected the local government chairman, whose tenure is still very much valid, legit. He gave an order that they must all resume at the state governor's office. So come and give account of their finances before he resumed office. So they disobeyed him. They disobeyed Okwebolo, right? They disobeyed him, and he now used the State House of Assembly to suspend all of them. Normally, there is no law that says he could do that, but he did it anyway, that they are all suspended. He hasn't appointed or replaced them because that's going to probably be a little bit of a legal issue. Then the Minister of Justice or Injustice under thiefnubu, the Attorney General of Nigeria, called the Minister of Justice under Kolu, now said that, oh, no state assembly has such power to suspend local government chairmen elected. But that was it. So today, no, not today. It was actually like, yeah, it was today. Yeah, it was today. The APC, Ebekegbe thugs, now grouped themselves as task force to go to all the local government secretariats in Edo State, looking for any local government chairman that them born well, that will resume after their suspension. But they went there with their canes to beat anybody that showed up. Something like this.
Yes, we're in the local government. Based on the announcement of the governor, where the local government chairman is suspended. Why some people are trying to engineer them, to tell them to come and force them to come and resume office when the governor have given them the order to stay away from council. They have been suspended by the House of Assembly. This is a local government. The former council chairman is obeying, and I will let me tell the whole world that this woman is not like any other people. We have investigated those who will threaten, those who will say they must resume office. But this, when the local government, we have investigated that this woman, you have disregarded from those elements, those nuisance. So now we don't do Oredo now. Confirm. So Oredo, yeah. We are out to tell the civil servant and the councillor they should not obey the order of the former council chairman. They have been suspended. If they say they don't want to obey the law of the House of Assembly, we will go to flog them. We will flog that nonsense, that place, that madness out of their life. We will flog them. Chairman, they know that they say the guy is threatening because
His name is Tom Obaseki. Don't say that their family don't hear what. They're not flog them. They're not going to hear what.
I know.
Mr. Man, the council chairman, in home office, did you send any message that you go to the Zoom office? Okay. Well, no, go outside. No, since in the morning, we started this movement in the local government. We were there by 8:30. From the local government, we moved to Oredo. Even in the local government, there was no arguments. The civil servant, yes, we're in the local government. Based on.
If they show up, we go flog them. APC. Egbekegbe na bad society. APC. Egbekegbe na bad society. APC. Egbekegbe. Good luck to them. Okay? Because in Kwara State, in Ilorin to be precise, you know, we've been having this conversation around Sharia, this Sharia, that, the extremists here and there. So there are those who believe that they are moderate Muslims that will say, don't mind those people. They do not represent Islam and all of that. But you know something about the Islamic extremists? They do not like the moderates as well. So a senator from Ilorin mounted billboards to say Merry Christmas. So the Ilorin people, then this morning, some of these hired extremists decided to take it down. Some have already started to defend it. So they said, no, it has nothing to do with religion. It is a politics. It's because the governor and the senator, they are fighting. That's why they had to remove the billboard. It's not because of religion. Okay, well, it probably is the wrong time. But I have a question, and that is, why is it that the poorest of the poor are those they always send the errand of this kind of disruptive? Even if when they want to kind of lynch people in the name of religion or politics, it's always the poorest of the poor that they always send. Take a look at this young man that climbed this billboard. And I was there, I was like, if this guy fall from this billboard and break his spine, if he dies, it's probably consequential. But take a look at the energy of taking down a billboard that says Merry Christmas in Ilorin. You know, I'm like, there is no safety measure. There is nothing to protect him. If he should lose his grip and just fall down like that, bah, and dies, they will move on. She said, sorry, oh, sorry. Sorry, oh, sorry. May God not allow them. May they kill you.
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh. May God not allow them, may them kill you.
Then kill you. And that's what we take us to his recent expose. Did you know that Asari Dokutom has always been involved in the criminality, including the extrajudicial killings of people in Igbo land? And all they have to do is to claim to be going after IPOB or going after ESN. And because of under this cover, they have killed many innocent people with nobody questioning them. Information like this are meant to be probed beyond its face value. This is like public confession. We all know that there are those sanctioned by the political class in eastern part of Nigeria, okay, in the name of going after IPOB or ESN by first criminalizing or criminalizing a legitimate self-determination advocacy, and in the process hide behind the state-sponsored genocide, ethnic cleansing, and going after innocent people who have committed not a single crime in order to eliminate them. Asari Dokubo says something. I want to share it with you, and I want you to kind of like ponder on this.
Now, how was your face-off with the military eventually resolved?
I didn't have any face-off with the military. They are the people who are looking for face-off. Didn't have any face-off with the military. I said what I said. Helicopters were flying over my house. And even today, as we are talking now, in Imo, the military people, the army, the navy are standing side by side with my men fighting at Okigwe and Idiato now in Imo. So some of them coming to make these things. I laugh. You know, why they do this is working for the federal government, so there are certain things they cannot say. What they cannot say to other people. They are saying that insurgency will not end. Ekpa, Simeon Ekpa. Who is Simeon Ekpa? We have destroyed virtually all ESN IPOB camps. As I'm talking to them now, as we are talking, we are standing side by side with them at Idiato and Okigwe today as an operation. When you are fighting for self-determination, it can take any means, because the person oppressing you will not allow you to just go. The person oppressing you will do everything to keep you. So it's not a new something.
Nuisance, Lele. You are fighting who? People's homes have been shot at. Bombs have been dropped on civilians in their communities in eastern part of Nigeria, especially Imo State. You're fighting who? Side by side with who? The supposed unknown gunmen, unknown this and that. We all know that he has something in all of that. That is that's the part where somebody like myself was screaming at the time that nobody should, for any reason, right? Praise these criminals, these terrorists. You should condemn them. Don't take unnecessary glory in seeing your own people, right, being systematically or systemically slaughtered or cleansed. It's unfortunate that there are those who actually felt like they could take glory for that, fortunately. Asari Dokudom has repeatedly confessed to his role in helping to destabilize the eastern part of Nigeria. The increased insecurity in the eastern part of Nigeria, he has played a role in that. And he continually said that publicly. But probably because he believes that nothing is going to happen. You know? Then he says something about self-determination. That the people holding you will never want you to go. They will never let go. So is that not contradictory? Eastern Security Network set up like a deforested ranger by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Their job is to go after the Fulani terrorists that want to render the eastern part of Nigeria as well ruined, especially the farms and the farmers. So how could anybody go after them if the intention is not to kind of like decimate them, weaken them, so that the terrorists can have a field day? How come the military are not going after the Fulani terrorists that are ransacking the states like Enugu and Ebonyi? Because the intention is to ensure that any resistance against them is weakened. Then Asari bragged about that. Then he said something about your oppressors won't let you go. So, but you are comfortable working with the oppressors, right? That's contradictory, isn't it? But it is. So, because of our time, I have these few messages from this guy, the Sea King, the man that ruffled, the guy that ruffled the feathers of those who were supposed to be powerful. thiefnubu, Sanwo-Iku, as well as Ibetokun. So he has few messages. For those of you who are so religious, you may take offense in this, but yeah, maybe you should also listen if you care to. Here is the first one.
See, now no get sense for this country. For over 40-50 years now they defend Allah, now they defend Jesus Christ. And now they poverty. Nobody for this country don't vividly they defend our resources. The real resources will go make you feel they in that your dream where they find. The real resources will go put you for that dream. You know if you defend them with your life. They defend Jesus Christ, they defend Allah. Where them? Oh yeah, call them come outside now. You need them now. This is the time you need them. You need them like this. Your life depends on them. Tell them to come and turn fuel, or call them make they come turn water to fuel. Abi make they come turn fuel price, make they bring them down instantly. Where them? When you need people you don't defend for over 40-50 years now, you need them. They put you for poverty. You don't see them. Abi stupid people. And they pay attention to rubbish. You people now physical problem, they worry now, no be spiritual problem. People are stupid. Just stupid anyhow. And they say you used to insult. If you pain you concern me. I don't care how you people feel. If you don't like me, pass through me, come up from my front. More power of now by one, and they believe Jesus Christ and Allah when I no see. But me why they tell na reality, now they follow me talk, they type nonsense. More power of now by one. They bench off boy. And you soon.
So you see why his words can be a little bit like a punchy, because you'll be like, you know, well, his facts are not meant to make you comfortable. Not just that, he also has a message for the supposed cultists in Nigeria. Listen to this.
There is serious courtesan fight going on in Edo State. I hear say na upper they call the place. The funniest and the most annoying thing about this courtesan be say anytime they start their fight, they know they fight rich people. Now only poor people, poor environment. Why is it that say every time you are talking about this courtesan, now so poor people they fight yourself? Whereas the rich people will do the court, now them be the oga. You, poor man, now you be the messenger. Now they kill yourself, now they pound yourself every day. Now oga will be the rich people. They do great things, enter private jet. You never shop. You no get money. Your family never shop. Your family spend everything on you. You reach when to graduate, maybe be person for yourself. They pound you in the name of courtesy. What be your gain? Since they don't start this courtesy for this life, oh, now don't create that group. Now never create ordinary toothpick. No one courtesan group don't create toothpick. As small as toothpick be, no one courtesan group don't create one toothpick till today. Then what is the essence of the group and association? They sell fuel 1.5. They sell fuel everything costs for Nigeria. Nothing. Everywhere is quiet. What is the need? Say no to cultism. Say no to cultism. My name is C. King, and I'm repeating. Say no to cultism.
Amen. And finally, it's also, another message from me, this time around, to those who claim to be the political godfathers in Lagos. What are they godfathers over? Listen to this one too.
Sanwo-Olu, are you aware that in Ekpe, for 7 months now, lights never did this Ekpe? 7 months. Ambode, where you dey? Are you also aware now that for 7 months, since March 2024, lights never did Ekpe? The people of Ekpe no see light. Now put Ekpe for darkness. People no see light. People no see water fetch. I dey stroll go yesterday. I dey see people where they find where they go fetch water. Everywhere no light. Ekpe is in darkness. Who is the person in charge? Who be the person where they in charge of why Ekpe never get light for 7 months? Today, now 24th of November. You people have this week to sort whatever you want to sort. I dey inside Ekpe like this. This week, whoa, this new week. If Ekpe no get light, may not prepare for me. Now go see me. I want you all to underrate me. May not try me. Sanwo-Olu, Ambode, wherever you are, call the right person. May not call people where una somebody call. May not they call them now. Ekpe no get light for 7 months. I did Ekpe like this, so una get.
Continue. 70 years old man. Jesus is Lord.
Nigeria, every day, every problem, and it just goes on and on and on, and it's like never ending, But this program is ending now. We've had kind of a, interesting evening. So I am thinking that, should we take calls or should we just go to bed to go and digest all you have heard so far? So I think we should take calls. So I'm going to take a short break. Okay. And when I come back, I will take a few calls before we call it a night. So if you are still with us, right, the number to call is right there on your screen. Okay. And then, what is that again? If you have to leave, remember, you can like the broadcast. Okay. Like the broadcast, share it. All right. And then you can call it a night. But I will be back in a minute or two. Don't go anywhere yet. Thank you. Princess, I think we can possibly continue the fundraiser. You know, every day counts. I should have included it in my broadcast this evening, but unfortunately I didn't. So, and I should also have kind of like give you a bit of a heads up, right, before tonight, so that you'll be prepared. But yeah, we can do that tomorrow. Okay. And thank you so much. Now, my line is opened. I hope it is working, by the way. So if it is, to those who want to add their own voice or contribute to this conversation, right? Yeah. So I'm going to invite Princess, by the way, tomorrow. Yeah, we should have a Princess on the program tomorrow. And then we can do some fundraisers for the January, the support, family support initiatives of the Yoruba Union in January, where we are planning to actually support at least 1,500 families. Multiply that by 4, that's going to be like, 6,000 people. Yeah. So we are raising fund of that, and Princess can come on the program as the Homeland Rep for the Yoruba Union. First, she will be able to tell us how much we have raised so far, and then we can possibly push more to make sure that we meet our target. So, brethren, it's been an interesting evening for myself, and I think for many of you too. Okay, so I appreciate your time with us this evening. And I also implore those of us who joined us late to try and watch this from the start, because I think that's the juiciest part of the conversation this evening, okay? I am going to let us just go to bed. My line seems to be acting up. I experienced that a lot. Sorry. So I should have possibly planned the Princess show up today, but I'll just kind of plan it for tomorrow, okay? So thank you so much, everyone, for your time. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and then share the broadcast and like it too. Okay. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Enjoy your holiday, and I shall see you again tomorrow, inshallah. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number 1.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number 1.
Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number 1.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number 1.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number 1.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number 1.
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number 1.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number 1.
Mayegun diary, diary politico.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number 1.
Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number 1.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number 1.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number 1.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
lórí Facebook
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú
Máyégún ti dé.
lórí YouTube
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú
Máyégún ti dé.
wọ́n bàbá gbé wúrẹ́
Máyégún mọ̀ mí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú
Máyégún ti dé.
jíjó ìgbádìyẹ
Máyégún mọ̀ mí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú
Máyégún ti dé.
pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o
Máyégún mọ̀ mí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú
Máyégún ti dé.
kí gómìnà kówó jẹ
Máyégún mọ̀ mí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú
Máyégún ti dé.
ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá
Máyégún mọ̀ mí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú
Máyégún ti dé.
aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o
Máyégún mọ̀ mí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú
Máyégún ti dé.
òkúra olóṣèlú
Máyégún mọ̀ mí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú
Máyégún ti dé.
ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran òun èèyà.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkanṣá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
ha kì máa yí ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe fẹ́ kì máa yí ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe fẹ́ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ̀lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.